31st. We are almost through the first month of 2024, and you are creating with Colleen. My name is Colleen Magnus. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I come to you live every Wednesday at noon Eastern Time, so you could take a break in your busy day and watch me create. So today, I don't know, the last couple weeks I've actually known what I was going to make the day before. Well, this week I was supposed to take my oldest granddaughter, Zoe, out to celebrate her December birthday. She has a very busy schedule, so we get together when we can. And we were both sick on Monday. I had a head cold, still got a tinge of it, and so I have some cough drops in my pocket. Hopefully we won't get any of those scratchy throats. And she was running a fever. So thankfully, we were going out Monday because she was out of school. We both got good enough. We're both good enough where we could go out yesterday. And so I was creating this morning. Now, yesterday we had a great time. She loves strawberries, so we made chocolate dipped strawberries. We made strawberry cupcakes. Then we had to go to Starbucks. She had to have this special drink. Apparently, you can give a recipe offline, and Starbucks will make this drink for you. So we did that. We went to Five Below, out to lunch. It was a good day, but it left me to create this morning. So I always have an idea of what I want to make. And that's it. I'm saying, look, if I can't create a card in 3 or 4 hours before noon, then I need a different job. So anyways, a little pressure, but I always come up with something. But today I kind of changed gears. I was going to use the hot air balloon suite from the mini catalog, and I did use that. But I was feeling Valentine's. Y'all know Valentine's will be here in 2 weeks. And I had to get really creative because I didn't have any Valentine sets. So I've incorporated some Sale-a-Bration products along with the balloon, and I came up with a really cute card that I think you'll like for someone you love for Valentine's Day. So anyways, we're going to go ahead. Let me boot us up. We are going to get started, but I do have to tell you too that tomorrow is a very exciting day. Y'all know it's Sale-a-Bration, so you get free merchandise with every qualifying $50 or $100 order. That we're halfway through. It's only January and February. But tomorrow, February 1st, they are going to introduce new Sale-a-Bration items. So we have this wonderful catalog that thankfully all the items are still available, but they're going to introduce more items. So this way you have more choices when you order. In addition to that, we are going to get 2 new kits. Stampin' Up! Promised us in 2024 that every month they will introduce 2 kits, and they're cute. I did get a little peek. One is a card kit and one is a framed art kit. So you'll want to check those out tomorrow. And then in addition to that, they're rolling out a whole new line of online exclusive products. So the only way you see those products is on my website. They're not in a catalog, but it just lets Stampin' Up! Introduce new product that is fresh. They can keep closer with the trends because when they make catalogs, they have to work a year, sometimes 2 years in advance. So you definitely want to check all those out. And if you're not sure how, sign up for my newsletter. If you go to creatingwithcolleen.com, I send a newsletter out. You'll have all the links to click on them. So do that, and we'll go ahead and get started. And I'll remind you these things again at the end. But while you are there, like I said, get that newsletter. You can shop from there, all kinds of things. So getting started, let me turn us down. I see people coming on. I can't wait to see who's here. Always love it. Oops, turn you around. All right, let's see. So let me get you in here. There we go. And try to get you straight. That always helps too. Ooh, isn't that cute? So, who do I have? Let me pull my screen up. Oh, good. Bren got her package. Hey, Bren, Patty, I hope you're doing well. Kathy, glad you could join me today. Bren got her package. She's talking about for my team, one of the things I do is we have a Celebrate and Create event, a quarterly event that you have to qualify for, and we send them all the parts. We get on Zoom, we create together, have door prizes. It's a lot of fun. So thanks for letting me know, Bren. Diane, welcome, and Judith. Hey, Kay. Kay, I forgot to tell you, when I saw you at Bingo, we forgot to exchange your swap cards. So I still have your swap cards that we did with our team at the house. Let me know when you want to come by. Carol from South Carolina. And then Lynn. Hey, Lynn, I hope you're doing good. And Barb, too. Deborah, Steph, Oh, thank you, Stephanie. She loves my creations. Thank you. I always say I do my best work at the last minute, and that's probably why they're as good as they are. Sometimes I feel like a baseball player sliding into home plate, but I always say as long as I'm called safe, it's all good. So we are going to go get started here. The card that we're making, this is a gatefold card because it opens like a gate. And I'll show you some tips and tricks and different products. Y'all all know that. But I had this card in another theme. And again, I didn't really have anything that screamed Valentine's. What I was disappointed in myself, you know, you always order things and then you wish you had ordered something else or something more. But on page 18 of the mini catalog, they have this whole suite. It's a brayering suite. So it has the rubber brayer and then the words and the dies that cut them out. They're embossed because both of these folders are what we call a hybrid folder. Stinking cool. What it is you have the folder that you can emboss with, but you also have the dies that you can stick inside the folder so it embosses and cuts at the same time. And this Adoring Hearts I have since seen used, and it's gorgeous. And I was like, oh, there's the hearts I need, but I don't have it. So again, I had to get original because, you know, back in the day, we had to have everything everybody else used to make it. But I want to teach you to look around your room, because I know you all have things in your room, your stamp room, and say, what can I substitute? How can I get around that? Because if not, you'll live a little disappointing life because you don't have what you want to create with. So then on page 19, they show you, see, here's the folder. You put the die in there. And for these, you can brayer the words, close it, run it through your die cutting machine, and it cuts all those words out. And then this is the heart die. So with the hearts, when you look at it, this is a folder. I might get this after all and show y'all anyways. This is a folder, all one piece. And then the die here, you can see it's connected. So you're going to get 9 hearts at a time. And it also has individual pieces. So, oh, stinking cute. But since I didn't have that, and what I was supposed to be creating with originally is the hot air balloon. So I got this suite and I thought it was stinking cute and I loved it. And so you will see that again because I did make it more Valentine's. But you have the entire suite. It's called Lighter Than Air on page 33. So with that, real quick, I'll show you. This is the hot air balloon. It is a photopolymer set because it is a 2-step stamping. Didn't even use the set this time. That's why we're going to see this again. Then we have the dies. And I did use the dies. So y'all know my little tip on the dies. Before, I can never get them in the package. And I know some of y'all use magnetic sheets, and that is pretty genius. But I'm not there yet. So what I do on mine is before I take anything off, I trace my dies. And then when I go to put these back together, I know exactly where my die went. Because if not, I will never get it in the same way. And I just pretty much end up throwing them in the envelope. And that works too, don't get me wrong. But at least when I trace them, I know where they go. So I have the bundle. Then they have beautiful 6x6 paper. And what's nice, especially if you want to make a lot of cards that are repetitive, is that there are 8 sheets of each design. So here you have them. They're beautiful pastels. We're getting through winter, some of us. And, you know, we want these spring colors. So you have this sheet, some really cute stripes. You can always use those. And you have yellow with that. Cute little colored dots with clouds. Then you have this, which is looks like the ribbons that are on the balloons. That. With that. And then this. This is probably my favorite sheet. Between this and the stripes, because I love all the colors. And that on the back. So you get 8 of those sheets in the 6x6 pack. And then you have the rainbow adhesive backed dots. So these are really nice because you have lots of different colors in here, and we're going to be using these on our project. Don't let me forget. Sometimes I forget the embellishments. And then here you have the Baker's Twine 3-color pack. So you have these beautiful colors right here. So that is the suite. You will see it again another time. But in order to make my card, Of course, pink and red, that screams Valentine's. So it really is nice. But I needed something else. I was like, what am I going to do here? So I didn't have any words. I really don't have a Valentine's word, but you could say, love you more. Happy Valentine's. Happy Valentine's Day. So to me, that's, I know he's not watching. He just went to the wood store because he has to get some wheels. Normally I found out Danny watches my YouTube lives from the garage now that he's retired. I thought that was so sweet. And then I was nervous. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope we don't mess up. We know that's going to happen, so I'm not going to worry about that. But he's at the wood store, so I'm not worrying about him watching. This will be his Valentine's Day card. Now I'll know if he goes back and re-watches them. So what I'm using is the Heartfelt Hellos. Now this is a celebration set. So with a minimum $50 purchase, you can get this stamp set free. And it's nice because it coordinates with the Heartfelt Hexagon Punch. So I use the Love You More. And then on the page before that, on page 9, you have this Adorning Hearts, the bundle that I showed you. Well, this paper coordinates with it. This is called Most Adorned. And what I loved about the celebration paper was that it's beautiful. And again, it could be Valentine's or love on the front. And the back, it's golden white. So then you can sponge it any color you want. So real quickly, it's a gold foil, so it's a specialty paper. These are the sheets in here. You have these roses. How pretty would that be to color these roses? I don't know if you can see that there. And actually, you could cut them out. You could use them as a background. I love these. This almost reminded me of like clouds, little heart clouds. I really liked that. And that is your back. So don't think of it as just Valentine's and hearts, which it's perfect for. You can definitely take the gold foil and take your blending brushes, which I'm going to show you, and color this any way you want. There you go. And that pink that's so pretty in there is Flirty Flamingo. All right. Bet you want to stamp. Let me get moving. Let me get moving on. Okay, what you are going to need, and I'm going to show you how to cut. Again, this being a gatefold, I'm going to show you how to cut that. So what you're going to need is a 5 1/8. Why did I say that? 5 1/2. Where's my pen? 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 real red. And, well, now I have to take another picture now that I think about it. Yeah, it's 5 1/2. Because I did take a picture and I'm going to put it on my Facebook page with the measurement so you can see it with the picture. So 5 1/2 by 8 1/2 real red. 2 3/4 by 4 inches of that Sale-a-Bration Most Adorned. So that was the pretty side there, but I'm going to use these gold hearts. Then I have a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 inch of basic white. And this is stitched with what's called Stitched with Whimsy. And I'm going to show you how I did that because it doesn't actually cut through. Then I have 3 by 4 1/2 scalloped contour dies. Y'all know those are my go-to dies that I absolutely love. 2 5/8 by 3 7/8 basic white, because that's what's going to fit in this die. You could see how it's stitched. So I wanted that basic white to just fit on the inside. So you see your stitching. And then you have these little pieces here, and these clouds that come from the hot air balloon. Got to try to keep up with those. Let me put them on the laptop. Okay, so cutting this piece here, you have to take your paper cutter. And the first time I did it, I scored it because I'm scoring it at 4 1/4. And then let me show you this way. I scored it at 4 1/4, and then I cut down 2 1/2 inches. But what I found is when you're cutting in that score line, it doesn't want to cut nice and clean, you know, because it's kind of bent on either side. So we are going to cut first and then score. So again, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I know it's going to be scored at 4 1/4. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to 4 1/4 inches right there. And it's 2 1/2 inches down. So I'm going to come to my 2 1/2 inch mark. And I can see that clearly, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So 2 1/2. And then I'm going to pick this up, make sure my paper stays there, get my cutting blade out of the way, and take my scoring blade and score that. So this way, I'm scored, I'm cut, and I'm scored. So now I know that I need to go 2.5 inches because that's how far down it was. So I put it on my 2.5 inch mark here, put my score blade at the top. And something I found out, sometimes when you like start at the top, it can like catch on your paper. Let me put this down a little bit. Your blade can. So when I do it, a lot of times I'll go to 2.5 inches on the side and I can start my cutting blade in the middle and it's not grabbing the edges of your cardstock. So again, I can just come down to 4.25 and I come back, and then when I fold this, I've got my gaped card. And it worked well. So a few tips on the cutter. One I've shared before, which I thought was genius, but you know, what does my mother say? Something is the necessity of invention. I don't know, I gotta get back with her. I remember some of her other ones. So here, what I have, this is called tear and tape adhesive. Now with the tear and tape adhesive, the way that works, necessity, that's it. Necessity is the mother of invention. That's what she says. My grandmother always said, why buy the cow if you can get the milk for free? But I use mom's saying a whole lot more. So here you have the tear and tape adhesive, and it's sticky on one side. And what you do, this is great for doing all kinds of treats, but you'll put this down, and then when you pull the tape off on the this paper off on the top, here we go, it's sticky, see? So then, you know, if you're making treats, you can pull it together. But what I did is I took the tear and tape here and I put it behind the acrylic, if you see that, the acrylic numbers. Because for me, it was hard to see these numbers when there was nothing behind it with the clear. So I took that tape, I ran it down the edge, perfect width of all those numbers, and I just never pulled that back piece off. So it's not sticky. The other thing is this, so it doesn't flap all over the place, is magnetic. So a lot of times I would want to pull it up from the middle and it feels like it sticks. It's got a little finger guide here. So whenever you're picking this up to move your paper, just pull that up because that's where that little magnet is. And it goes real quick and easy. All righty, moving along. For my front, I was telling you about this Most Adorned paper. What I love about the Most Adorned paper is you can sponge it any color that you want. So I have my blending brush and I want to make an ombre. So I want it darker to lighter. In fact, before I do that, let me show you how I cut that. Where's my little piece at? All right, let me sponge it first and then I'll find my piece. Because I wanted the hearts even to be more at the bottom than at the top. So I'm going to come in here. I always like to hold, this is so thin, I like to hold the head of the brush. And I'm going to come in much darker down here, where my hearts are a lot more dense also. So I'm going to come across. There we go. And since I, want it darker, I can actually even start on the paper. But when I do, I start light and then I push heavier. All right, let me bring that up a little bit. And then, see how that's a lot darker down there? I want it even darker. Okay. Then up here, I can start going lighter. And by the way, this is the Flirty Flamingo that I'm using, so it coordinates with that designer paper. So think of this with Lost Lagoon, with, gosh, any color that you want. And it really does become a brand new piece of paper. Here it is. This is what I was going to show you. So when I cut this piece, I knew I needed 4. It was 4, what'd I tell you, by 2 3/4. And by just doing the 2 3/4, I had mostly all the thick hearts. So this being 12 by 12, do a little math here. 12 by 12, I like to cut into 4-inch or 3-inch sections, or 2-inch, something that you can get evenly into it. So this is 4 inches wide, 4 by 12. And I didn't worry about that little strip So I went 3 inches right there. So that gave me a 4x3, but I wanted my hearts to be more spruce at the top, and this was supposed to be 2 3/4. So then I just came over to 2 3/4 and cut off that little 1/4 inch. But this way I didn't really waste my paper, because what would I do with a 1/4 inch anyways? And it gave my hearts, they were a little more sparse as they go up. So this, let me crease this. Let me check my, let me see. Evelyn, this is still on your wish list? Well, I tell you, it's cute. And we are going to, again, you know, we'll create more with it as the balloon with all those colors. But when I saw it, I did see the possibility, because it did have that heart die in there, which I loved. So I'm just going to take this with my liquid glue so I can move it around a little bit and hold that down. Let me see. Renee has her errands all done today. Good for you, Renee. I think I'm going for a walk later. I've been trying to get my 10,000 steps in with my little Fitbit, and it really is a pretty day today. We're supposed to have a really nice week here again in Virginia. So, good. So Mary already has the set and the paper. Very good. So here I have my gate. Now for the Stitched with Whimsy, I have here. The Stitched with Whimsy is cool because it doesn't actually cut. It just puts some stitches in there. So this is the die. These are the dies. Again, Stitched with Whimsy dies. And I'm going to use, I want to cut it because y'all are going to, if you follow me, you're going to see some of the same tips repeated. But if somebody's new, I would really like them to see some of the tips. So with this one, I'm going to remind you again how to cut with the larger dies. And the other thing I do is I'll take, like, if I have 2 catalogs or a catalog has expired, I will actually take the picture of the dies and put it in the envelope. Because, you know, as a demonstrator, I'm supposed to kind of get rid of all my retired stuff, and because I always have to buy new things. Some are hard to do, or I just don't want to do it this year. I might do it another year. So instead of having to go back and try to figure out what the price was or the item number or anything, if I just take this little Stitched with Whimsy dies right here and I slide it in my envelope, then I'll always know. I don't have to look anything up. So what I will do with this, I'm using the largest die, and it is pretty much right to the edge. So I'm going to take my washi tape, or you can also use Post-it notes. Now with the washi tape, it's kind of sticky, so put it on your jeans a time or two, just so you don't want that tearing your paper when you pull it up. And I will put it on here. Let me get my die cutting machine. So I have that. So with the dies, you're going to use your number 1 base plate. Then you are going to use your number 2 die cutting plate. You just need that little bit of thickness. You're going to use a clear acrylic plate. Then you are going to, let me reposition this. You're going to put this die on there, and it just kind of goes right on the edge. Can't see, it's got a glare. Okay, close enough counts. Take your washi tape, put it across the die in the paper. Take your other clear acrylic plate and make sure that both of these are even on the side, and just, oh, I didn't tell you what I did. Instead of putting this in like totally straight like this, and it's hard to get over that edge, put it in at an angle. Even that little bit of an angle is going to make it slide in there smoothly. You don't get that big clunk. There we go. And then I have my Stitched with Whimsy. So what's cool is that nothing actually, get that off there. Nothing actually was cut, but it's all stitched. So it just adds that little bit of extra texture in there. Got a little smudge, so I'll use the one I originally did. So for this, I can just put it on here. If you go like this and your tape doesn't grab, Make you feel the sure you feel the sticky, and roll your wrist. And you're going to get your tape to work every time. So, put this on here. Coming together. So for this piece here, one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted texture in my clouds. The hot air balloon comes with 2 clouds, and on the original card that I did, I was like, well, let me just emboss a whole piece and then I'll cut the clouds. So what I used to emboss, this was the online exclusives, and these are the basic 3D embossing folders. So remember, new online exclusive products tomorrow. So no telling, we don't even know everything we're getting. We don't even know the second round of Sale-a-Bration items. Stampin' Up keeps the excitement for us just as much as you. But these are what the 3 folders are, and they're beautiful. This one can be flowers or starfish. This one is really fun. They're like round dots, like 3Ds. And then this is my go-to. This is like a little hatching, just a little something to get that texture. So on the clouds, on the first clouds, I said, well, let me do what I tell you not to do. I did emboss the piece and cut the clouds, thinking it was small and it wouldn't matter, but it really does, because, I don't know if you could see it, I ended up cutting the clouds and then embossing them. And when you emboss first and then run it through, it really does push a lot of the texture out. So cut first, then emboss. So I'm going to, let me put my piece of paper down here. I will, here we go. Take my tape runner. And I like, instead of putting clouds in here, I kind of like to give the impression that, you know, you just cut a piece of the sky out. So you want your clouds to go off your paper and you can trim that. So I can, it doesn't even have to be a lot because I want most of my cloud on there. There we go. So now that I have that, I like to turn it over so I can see it. Just trim my little clouds. And then this, I say can go on here, but let me stamp it first, because once I glue it on here, if I stamp that wrong, then I have to tear everything apart. So I'm going to take Real Red and the Sale-a-Bration. Don't forget, this is one you can get free for $50, the Heartfelt Hellos. And I'm going to use the Love You More. So let me see. So right here, I've got Love You More. I'm just going to stamp that. So Evelyn asked a perfect question, and Evelyn, I love your idea. When I was telling you with the dies to go ahead and take the catalog and cut it out so you know what dies you are, you know what the item number is and the price. Evelyn, I usually have a couple catalogs left over, so I just cut another catalog, but you had a perfect idea. Go ahead and make a copy. Make a copy of what you have, because as the customer, you just might have one catalog, and you don't want to cut that up. You want to keep it for ideas as you go forward. So make a copy, and then you could put it in there. Great idea, Evelyn. Yes, Renee, this would be cute with the bee set. That's another one on my list. Oh, Renee said the stippled rose paper is out. Oh, see, you got to act quick. You got to act quick. And let me see. Okay. She also said that let me see. What was it? Sale-a-Bration not till February 1st? I was thinking it was on the 1st. So I will research that and let you know. Huh. I hope it's the 1st. I'm looking forward to that. So here I have my love. Put this on. Okay, I think I know what it is. I think demonstrators get to see it on the 1st. And then it would be available to customers on the 5th. That makes more sense. Thanks, Renee. So I do get to see it. See, if you're a part of Stampin' Up, you always get the inside scoop ahead of time. Lots of fun. So I have this here. Now for put my little hot air heart balloon together. Oh man. What? Oh, this is fun. I hit something on my computer and I don't see you all at all. Wow. All right. Well, what you gonna do? We're just gonna roll. Man, don't ever touch a computer when you're creating. All right. So anyways, we're still rolling. So what I'm gonna do is, these are two of the dies. You have the stripes here. I love taking the Tombow liquid glue because it is strong. And I'm just gonna put, you don't have to put a lot on here. You don't want it to ooze out like you're in kindergarten again. I'll put this on. Okay, oh, thank God I hit something again and you're back. Welcome back. Talking to myself, y'all never left. Okay, so I'll just put this on here. And when I was doing this, I was going to put Wink of Stella on here, but sometimes, you know, I didn't want to put it on the whole thing. I want to have some dimension of what's shiny and what's not. So what I ended up doing, I waited till I put it together. And then I take my Wink of Stella and I'm just coloring the Flirty Flamingo parts, like the inside. And it's nice because the red is already nice and bold. And so that stands out. But this really brings out the Flirty Flamingo. Because, you know, you got to have some bling and some sparkle to your cards. I like that a lot. So let me see if you could see it. I don't know if you can. I can't see it on my screen anyways. Hopefully you can. But then when I put this on here, I kind of put this first. You have this teeny tiny little basket. And so I wanted to put the basket first. And I kind of just eyed where it is because you have to color the two tops of those little ropes. So I will just, didn't want to use the liquid glue in case I did have to move it around. But I'll just kind of put this in the middle, like so. Don't push down till it's where you want it. Then I think that'll go there. And I like that because it does show my clouds. Push it up just a little bit. There we go. So for this part, I did want to pop it up with some dimensionals. Let me see. So Evelyn likes putting double-sided adhesive behind those dies. I need to try that sometime. I have not done that, Evelyn. So for the tiny ones, that probably would be great. I need to try that. I don't know. Sometimes the challenge is good. See if you can get it on there. So when I have this to put it on my card, I am going to, of course, only tape the bottom. I'm going to put it on with dimensionals. But you want to make sure your dimensionals are low enough where, like, you don't put them in the middle and the bottom and they're sticking out the top here, because you will see that. So I'll put one in each corner because I know that's going to be on the card. And this I can even go a little lower than the top because that is all going to be anchored. So when I put it on here, I could see, yep, they're all going to be hidden. It's a little close, but I think it's hidden. Let me see. Challenges are always good, Evelyn said. Well, hopefully it keeps you sharp as you grow old. So, and I'll put this on here. And then take those cute little embellishments, the rainbow adhesive back dots. And I'm going to take these here because this definitely looks like, okay, so now here's the thing. I bought 2 of these and I have yet to replace them. That needs to go on the list this afternoon. All right, so take this in. Oh, for Pete's sake, just take your hand. I ran out of my gummy stuff. Otherwise, that works great. My hands always have a hard time doing little. They just don't have a choice today. So there is your, what I call my Valentine's Day card. Even though it doesn't say Valentine's Day, when I give it to them, I'll say Happy Valentine's Day, and I love you more. So that is your card, and I hope you learned something today. I hope so. But don't forget, soon I will check. On the 5th, I guess there's going to be more Sale-a-Bration items. And then 2 more kits are coming out. I thought it was tomorrow, so I'm going to check that as soon as I get off. Look for my newsletter tomorrow morning. If you don't get it, creatingwithcolleen.com. I will put the answer in there because I know inquiring minds want to know. And if you don't already get my newsletter, please subscribe. You can go to Creating with Colleen and you can subscribe for my newsletter. You can order from there. Just hit shop now. And if you do, even though this says February host code, it is active right now. So for the month of February, if your order is less than $150, please put that host code in. And if not, if it's $150 or more, not only are you going to earn the free Sale-a-Bration items, you know, because that's with every 50, you will also receive 10% of your merchandise value in free merchandise. That's our host benefits. Let me see check my things. Love you all from Germany. Evelyn, I love that you can watch from Germany. That is so cool. Thanks for watching, Kathy. Thanks for your comments. So yes, the new online items are available tomorrow. It sounds like Sale-a-Bration will be the 5th. So anyways, please subscribe. Please like, share, leave comments. I can take it, y'all. I'm always trying to better my best. So may God bless you all today. Have a wonderful day. And I am going to start working on that newsletter for tomorrow. And I will put the dimensions and the cards in the link to this video on my Creating with Colleen Facebook page. Y'all take care and make sure you do something creative today.